There is a part of you that you have quietly decided no one should ever touch. Not your spouse, not your closest friend, not even God. You have learned to live around it. You hand people the clean version of yourself and keep the other part in the dark, because somewhere along the way, you came to believe that if they saw it, really saw it, they would step back. Today's gospel is about a man who lived exactly like that, and it speaks directly to the wound you think you have hidden well. Reading of the Holy Gospel. When Jesus came down from the mountain, great crowds followed him. And then a leper approached, did him homage, and said, "Lord, if you wish, you can make me clean." He stretched out his hand, touched him, and said, "I will do it. Be made clean." His leprosy was cleansed immediately. Then Jesus said to him, "See that you tell no one, but go show yourself to the priest and offer the gift that Moses prescribed. That will be proof for them." A man comes asking to be made clean, and before anything is healed, something happens that should not have happened. A hand reaches out. Hold on to that hand. Because by the end of this video, I want to show you why the thing you are waiting for, to be fixed first and loved afterward, was never how any of this worked. And why the part of you that you believe is untouchable may be the exact place he is reaching toward right now. Let me tell you what made this scene almost unthinkable to the people watching it. Leprosy, in that world, was not only a sickness of the body, it was a sentence. The law was clear. A leper had to live outside the camp, away from family, away from the temple, away from every warm thing a human being needs to survive. He had to tear his clothes, leave his hair unkempt, and cover his mouth. And when anyone came near, he was required to cry out one word about himself, again and again: "Unclean, unclean." Sit with that for a moment. This man's daily task was to announce his own shame out loud so that others could stay away from him. Now here is the first thing that should surprise you. We tend to imagine the holy people of that time as compassionate, but the priests, the religious experts, the ones who knew God's law best, were precisely the ones who kept this man at a distance. The system built around God had become a wall against the very people God wanted near. The closer you were to the temple, the more carefully you avoided men like him. So when this leper walks toward Jesus, he is breaking the law to do it. He is not supposed to approach. Every step forward is a risk. And the crowd, the great crowds that had just followed Jesus down the mountain, would have done what crowds always do. They pulled back. They opened a space around him, not out of kindness, but out of fear. No one had touched this man in years, maybe many years. Think about what that does to a person. It is one thing to be sick. It is another to slowly forget what a human hand feels like on your shoulder, to stop being someone people embrace and become something people avoid. The disease attacked his skin, but the law and the fear attacked his belonging. And notice the strange dignity in how he asks. He does not say, "Heal me." He says, "Lord, if you wish, you can make me clean." Clean. He does not ask first to stop hurting. He asks to stop being unclean, to be allowed back among people, back into the temple, back into the arms of those who loved him once. That word tells you where his deepest wound really lived, not in his body, in his exile. And here's the question I want you to carry into the next block. When this man finally stood in front of the only person who could change everything, why did Jesus not simply speak? He could have healed him from 10 feet away with a single word and kept every law intact. Hold that question, because what he did instead is the whole gospel. So let us stand in that silence with the question still open. The crowd is frozen. The leper is waiting. And Jesus does the one thing no one expected. He stretched out his hand and touched him. You have to slow down here, because if you read it too fast, you will miss the whole point. The touch comes before the healing. Read it again. He touched him and then said, "Be made clean." There was a moment, however brief, when the hand of Jesus was resting on skin that was still diseased, still contagious, still, by every rule in that world, unclean. He did not have to do that. We need to be honest about it. A word would have been enough. He healed others from a distance, a servant, a daughter, a man he never even saw. Power was never the issue. He could have cleaned the man first and embraced him after, and it would have been a beautiful story. But that is not the story we were given. He touched the leprosy. He touched the very thing that made the man untouchable. And this is the center of everything I want you to feel today. We have built our entire understanding of love backwards. We believe the order goes like this. First, I get cleaned up. Then, I am worthy of being held. First, I fix the broken thing. Then I deserve closeness. First, I become acceptable. And then, only then, does anyone get to come near. So we wait. We keep the unclean part in the dark, and we tell ourselves we are protecting people from it. We say, when I am better, I will let them in. When I have my life together, I will stop hiding. When I am finally clean, I will let God touch that part of me. But watch what Jesus does. He reverses the order. He does not wait for the man to become clean so he can touch him. He touches him so that he can become clean. The touch is not the reward at the end of healing. The touch is where the healing begins. Do you understand how much that changes? It means the hand of God reaches toward you not after you have fixed yourself, but while the wound is still open, while you are still unclean, while the very thing you are most ashamed of is still fully present, still untreated, still exactly what you fear it is. The leper was not loved because his leprosy disappeared. His leprosy disappeared because love refused to keep its distance. And here is what I want you to hold as we move forward. If this is how he treated the disease everyone agreed was untouchable, what does that mean for the part of your story you have decided is beyond his reach? Carry that, because in the next block, I want to bring this hand into the rooms where you actually live. So let us bring that hand into your real life, not into theory, into the actual rooms where you carry the thing you think is untouchable. Maybe it is a relapse you swore was the last one. You told yourself, and maybe you told God, that you were done, and then it happened again. And now there is a voice that says, don't you dare come back to prayer with the same sin in your hands. Clean yourself up first. Get a few weeks of being good behind you. Then you can approach. So you stay outside the camp, crying unclean over your own soul, waiting to fix it before you let him near it. Or maybe it is a marriage where the warmth quietly left. You still share a house, a calendar, a bed, but somewhere you stopped being touched and started being tolerated. And you have decided that is simply who you are now, unreachable, someone people live beside but no longer reach for. Or it is a daughter, a son who has not spoken to you in 2 years. And every time you think of reaching out, the same thought stops your hand. If they really knew the version of me from back then, they would only confirm what they already believe. So you keep the distance, because the distance at least feels safer than the rejection. Or it is something no one knows, a thing from your past, a thought you would be ashamed to say out loud, even in confession, a part of yourself you have never let into the light because you are certain that the moment it is seen, you will see the other person step back. The way the crowd stepped back, the way you have learned to expect. Here is what I need you to hear. In every one of those rooms, you have been waiting for the wrong thing. You have been waiting to become clean so that you can finally be touched. And the gospel today is telling you that this is not the order. It was never the order. The hand of God is not repelled by your unclean place. That is the one thing the leper learned that we keep refusing to believe. He did not have to hide the disease to earn the touch. He brought the disease fully visible, and the touch came anyway. So the part of you that you have kept in the dark, the relapse, the coldness, the failure, the secret, that is not the part he avoids. Read the gospel again. That is the exact part he reaches for first. And maybe that is why you are still here, watching a video about a leper from 2,000 years ago. Some part of you is tired of crying unclean over your own life. Hold that. Because there is one more turn this gospel asks of you, and we are almost there. So here is the turn. And it is harder than it sounds, because everything in us resists it. The leper did one thing before he was touched. He came close anyway. He broke the rule that said stay back. He walked into the open space the crowd had made around his shame, and he let himself be seen, fully, with the disease in plain view. He did not clean himself up in the bushes first. He did not wait until he had something presentable to offer. He brought the unclean thing directly to the only one who could touch it. That is the movement God is asking of you. Not to fix the part first, to bring it close while it is still broken. And I know how much that costs, because bringing the unclean part into the light feels like the most dangerous thing you could do. It feels safer to keep crying unclean from a distance. At least from a distance you control the story. No one steps back if no one is allowed near. But the distance you built to protect yourself has become the exile you are dying inside of. The very wall you raised to avoid rejection is the thing keeping the hand of God from reaching the place that most needs it. If you are still here with me at this point in the video, I want to invite you to subscribe to Gospel of the Day and walk with us every day. And if this message made sense to your heart, share it with someone who may need to hear it today, because sometimes one word heard at the right moment can help someone breathe again. Someone who has been living outside the camp, certain that no one will ever reach for them. Now let me bring you back to that hand, because there is something in this story we have not yet faced, something about what that touch actually cost the one who gave it. The crowd understood the law. They knew that whoever touched a leper became unclean himself. The uncleanness was supposed to travel in one direction only, from the sick to the well, from the broken to the whole. So watch carefully what happens when Jesus reaches out. Hold that question one more time, because in the next moment, the whole reason this gospel was written, and the answer to why he touched first, is finally going to open. Here is what the crowd was waiting to see. By every law they knew, when a clean man touches an unclean man, the uncleanness wins. It travels from the sick to the well. Touch a leper, and you become a leper in the eyes of the law. The defilement always moves in one direction. So they watched, and the impossible happened. The uncleanness did not travel into Jesus. The cleanness traveled out of him. That is the whole gospel in a single moment. In the hands of God, the direction reverses. What should have contaminated him instead was healed by him. He did not become unclean by touching the unclean. He made the unclean clean by being willing to touch it. And now go back to the beginning. Go back to the part of you that you decided no one is allowed to touch. Remember what you believed, that if you brought it close, it would only spread the shame, that your unclean place would defile whatever reached for it. That is the lie this gospel was written to break. When the hand of God touches your worst place does not stain him. He heals it. You were never waiting to be cleaned up before you could be loved. You had it backwards your whole life. You were waiting to be touched while you were still unclean, and that touch is the thing that makes you clean. The leper announced his shame for years so the world would keep its distance, and the first thing Jesus did was close that distance with his hand, not after. First. So stop waiting outside the camp. Bring the part you have hidden. Bring it broken. Bring it unfinished. Bring it exactly as you fear it is. The hand is already stretched out toward you. Let us pray. Lord, here is the part of me I never let anyone touch. I stop hiding it now. I bring it into the light, still unclean, still unfinished, and I trust that your hand does not pull back. Reach for the place I was sure was beyond you. Make me clean, not because I fixed myself, but because you were willing to touch me first. Amen. If this word reached the place you keep hidden, follow Gospel of the Day and walk with us. Share this with 5 people. One of them may be living outside the camp tonight, certain no one will ever reach for them. Leave a sincere comment about what this gospel touched in you, and tell me which gospel you want us to sit with next. You spent years believing you had to become clean before you could be touched. He stretched out his hand to show you it was always the other way around.